The Rwandan genocide was a mass killing of the Tutsis. Approximately 20% of the population in Rwanda were killed in the genocide. Rwanda's president was taken out when a surface-to-air missile hit the plane he was in. Although no one was sure who did it, the Hutus blamed the assassination on the Tutsis and began to slaughter them. It started in the capital of Rwanda. The Hutus checked identification cards at roadblocks and killed any of them if they were Tutsis. Since the government had names and addresses of the Tutsis in Rwanda, they started going door to door killing them. Most killing was done with machetes, clubs, or knives because bullets were too expensive. Many Tutsis also got brutally tortured before their death. The Hutus would not bury the Tutsi bodies and would leave them there to rot. Some were thrown into rivers to send the Tutsis back to Ethiopia, which is where the Hutus claimed they came from. The United States did not have a large role in the genocide, but it showed the public that there are genocides still occurring in the world even after the Holocaust. Columbine was a school where there was a large shooting. The two shooters' names were Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. The attack occurred April 20, 1999. The attackers used a firebomb, propane tanks converted to bombs, 99 explosive devices, and bombs rigged to cars. The attackers, who were both seniors at the school, then both committed suicide. They killed 12 students and a teacher. They also injured 21 students. Columbine is known as one of the first serious school shootings. Eric Harris's journal and other students, parents, and teachers reported frequent bullying on both of the two students. Both of the two attackers had been in trouble with the law before with things like stealing tools and equipment from a van parked outside. Also, beforehand, Eric Harris had created a website originally created to blog about a video game called Doom, but about a year later started filling up with instructions on how to create explosions and how to create mischief. The shooting could have been prevented in multiple ways. If someone were to take action against the previous crimes, checking the website, or just going into their rooms where the bombs were hidden. The shooting created debates in the United States about gun control laws and the availability of firearms. It also sparked debate about violent video games and bullying. The World Trade Organization, also known as the WTO, was created to promote and liberalize international trade. Its goal was to make sure trade went smoothly, predictably, and freely. It was officially in existence January 1st, 1995. The organization deals with the regulation of trade in countries and helps the negotiating trade agreements. Most of the conflicts the World Trade Organization deals with are concerning previous trade negotiations. The WTO was created in replace of General Agreement of Tariffs and Trades. The United States joined the World Trade Organization in January 1st, 1995, so it was one of the original members. The United States was also ranked number 1 in importing merchandise, importing commercial services, and exporting commercial services by the WTO in 2011. The United States was also ranked number 2 in exporting merchandise by the World Trade Organization in 2011. Rodney King was an African-American construction worker who was brutally beaten by the Los Angeles police officers after a high-speed car chase. George Holliday witnessed the beating and video recorded much of it. 5 police officers had been beating him, and many other officers stood around not doing anything to stop the brutality. King had been tased twice, hit 36 times with batons, and kicked 6 times by the police. All the officers were acquitted from their crimes. This sparked outrage across the nation, who had most seen the video of the beating. Some blamed the acquittals of the officers as a trigger that started the 1992 Los Angeles riots, where 53 people were killed and another 2,000 people were injured. These riots had to be broken up by the United States Army, National Guard, and the Marines. Later, the police officers were put on trial again, and 2 of them were found guilty and imprisoned. Also, King had appeared on television after the beating, asking if we can all just get along. This affected the United States because it started making public citizens more aware and angry about police brutality and racism. The 27th Amendment makes sure that any increase or decrease in a congressman's salary can only start at the end of a term. The official text states that no law varying the compensation for the services of the senators and representatives shall take effect until an election of representatives shall have intervened. This amendment was intended to restrain Congress from being able to set their own salary. This amendment was originally submitted in 1789, but never got adopted until 1992. It was actually drafted by James Madison and was proposed to be in the Bill of Rights, but got badly rejected. Efforts to ratify this amendment were by far the longest it had ever taken to complete the ratification of an amendment. It makes the congressmen look good because it might make them look bad if they vote for themselves to earn more money in that term.